We're live.
Woo!
The dummies are done shooting. It's Monday morning. We're a little bit earlier than normal.
Yes, we are.
11:15 in the morning. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get in here.
Right. And we did have an internet specialist on site earlier today, double checking everything, and actually said my router wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was the router because I'd up the speed so we'd be better on live shows. He said, I'm swapping you out. And he did. So swapping you out.
Yeah, we had noticed the last few live streams we had done from here was really, there had been some
I'd
issues.
upped the speed.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is going on? So I called and asked for a tech to come out. And he was like, yeah, there's a problem.
Well, and luckily, and he was fast. He was quick.
He was.
Not necessarily in and out, but he was here for about an hour.
Yeah, almost in and out, but he had a problem with the extender upstairs.
We had planned on him taking longer and maybe not filming as early as we were able to.
Right. And then we were like, he's done. Let's do it.
Let's say hi to Whiskey Jason, Daniel Brown, Christopher Malloy.
Box of Quality's
Box of Quality.
Tennessee.
Nick Place.
I was looking at the wrong camera.
Duncan Harmsworth. Jamie B. Well, it's right by it.
Yeah, I know. There's two of them, but I was like over here. And someone was like, he's got crazy eyes like a serial killer.
Jamie Beaver's here. There's Bird Dog 2017.
Bird Dog. I just like yelling Bird Dog.
Yep. So we have B. Lamb.
B. Lamb.
He won the Altmore Tome. And he was so appreciative. He said, I want to send you guys a bottle.
Right. He fought a boar. And then
a wild boar.
A wild boar attacked him for the bottle. He slayed said boar and then sent the bottle.
Well, and this is a distillery, I believe, that is close to him. I think he's like, hey, we got this distillery. It's close to us. I'd like to send you a bottle.
Give them a help. Berkshire.
Berkshire bourbon whiskey from Sheffield, Massachusetts. Wait, is it MA, Massachusetts, or Maryland?
Now you're getting me. I
think that's Mass.
That could be. You're right. Somebody out there tell us. Somebody in the live. We can look it up. Well, they changed, though. It used to be MASS, when they did the 4-letter deal, Mass. Yeah. And that's how I knew. But they switched everything, and I haven't seen an update here lately.
What else we have? I just have a rocks glass, and I've got we had a
right here, Kelsey Adelaide. They call it the King Cube.
Makes
2 inches.
2-inch cubes of ice, and they're actually pretty darn nice.
And these silicone deals, that'll be a show that's coming out in, we don't know when, but they actually said, hey, we want to give some of these to your fans. And we were like, yeah, we like that. So anytime there's a giveaway, we want to do it.
Hi there, Food Quig, Santa Cruzin. Thanks for tuning in.
Quig.
Early Monday morning.
Woo, it's early. And new shirts. This is the new one, Karen, with the stamp. You've got the black. I've got the
black shirt, kind of a gray shirt. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've got with charcoal. Charcoal filtering.
MA is Massachusetts for sure.
Good.
Thanks, Bird Dog.
So what's Maryland?
MY? MD.
Right, well, what's Maine? You're right. MD is Maryland. Maine is MI? ME. Oh, look at that. This is entertaining. People are like, I didn't
look, Duncan. MD is Maryland.
I know, but people are like, I didn't tune in to watch them go through their memories to see if they know what the postal code is for the state. Oh, really? Looking good there, gents.
Thank you, of course, so I'm using the rocks glass and the 2-inch cube from Kelsey Adelaide, but really nice, sweet caramel, vanilla. Not bad for what I would assume is a younger whiskey. There's no age statement on it. It's a craft distillery.
You're right. It doesn't say even, well, it says bourbon whiskey, but you're right. It's not straight bourbon whiskey. So we know it didn't hit the 2-year mark. You got to remember, I think to be called bourbon, it's got to make it at least a year.
There's no age for bourbon. It just has to be. It just has to be aged in. It has to be 51% corn, aged in wood, new charred oak barrels.
Right, I knew that.
Straight bourbon would be 2 years.
I knew that.
So you can age it. You can age a 51% corn whiskey in a new charred oak barrel for a day and call it a bourbon.
You're 100% on that?
100%.
Okay.
No one's going to buy it. Except for Food Quig. Food Quig would probably buy it.
The Quig would love it. Berkshire Mountain. And they got a picture of a barn on the cover.
Daniel Brown is tuning in. Daniel's talking about his wife. Didn't she also mention something about Bart having a radio voice in a comment?
Thank you. That's good.
It wasn't really. No, it wasn't good.
No, it is. Tested.
She was implying that because of your face.
I've got a face made for radio. Got it. A face for radio.
I think that was Daniel Brown that made that comment.
Oh, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Loch Ness is tuning in. Thanks for coming in on this early Monday morning. Ooh. We're taking a look at Berkshire.
Hey, you know what? It's triple distilled in a traditional pot still method. Interesting. Aged in virgin American white oak barrels. And they list it as round, rich, and complex with hints of toffee and spice. Handcrafted small batches. Berkshire's first legal distillery since Prohibition. Okay. It says distilled from grain.
Hold on, we got a new watcher from Iceland, Dennis Blinkvist. Wow. I'm sure that's close. Lindqvist. You'll have to correct our pronunciation.
Well, is the K silent?
That's
greetings
crazy.
From Iceland.
Yeah, greetings from Iceland. You think the K is silent? Lindqvist?
I don't know. I make stuff up.
Food Quig says he'll try any whiskey at least once. I agree. Yeah, I would
good
too.
Call, Quig.
This surprised me. Now I'm going to come into yours though. Neat. The rocks glass and on the rocks was okay, but it was immediately diluted a little bit. I
get a nice corn dustiness. I definitely get the charring from the virgin white oak. Dry. All I can say is dry and dusty again with a little caramel cream in the finish.
Claire is asking about the coffee mug. We got new coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Some of our designs on Spreadshirt have the coffee mugs. Some because of the Love the Peat and Rye Be Normal. I did not hook up with coffee mugs because you could only show it on a white coffee mug.
Sure.
And it's a white print, so it didn't show up. So just the designs that are that print well on colors or on white are up. And also, we've been accused of pushing a lot of merchandise, but it's the thing. The thing is, people have been asking us for stuff, and we sell.
Right.
We sell some stuff. We do have our own rocks glasses in the works as well. We don't have one here. We have our sample at home. We showed it on the live stream yesterday. George Kaplan joined us.
Sure.
With a Pete recap.
But you say they're accusing us, and they're correct. The idea is the show is free. If we come up with cool merchandise that people want and it helps support us, then everybody's happy. That's the whole idea. So we try not to overdo it. We try to put, there'll be little hints here or there. And then at the end, when people can just skip it or tune out if they want, we'll cover new shirts or whatever. That's the idea. But isn't that it? That's the idea.
Daniel Munir tuning in. Haven't seen you before, Daniel. Thanks for tuning. It's an early Monday morning. Massachusetts boy now living in Florida. Glad to tune in. That's probably a good. Well, there's pluses and minuses to both Massachusetts and Florida.
Now Malloy's telling us what bottled and bond is. We know it's got to be 4 years and it's got to be at least 50% ABV or 100 proof. We know that with bottled and bond. It's also got to be in a controlled warehouse.
Well, does that still? That used to be
what?
That had to be in the government controlled. It's still.
Yep. Okay. So the law hasn't changed.
Okay.
1897.
I didn't know if the government had loosened up on that, saying we know that nowadays no one's going to add tobacco spit to the whiskey.
I know. I think they're afraid that the bottle won't get taxed.
Well, there's the seal they don't do anymore. You used to have the strap,
right?
But you don't have to have that anymore. So some things have loosened up.
I guess so, yeah. They're not afraid of an adulteration.
Daniel Munir, perfect pronunciation of my last name. Kudos.
Woo.
Thank you. Oh, Chef PC is tuning in. We just you just got a Scotch God shout out on one of the videos we just shot.
Yeah.
So we only did a couple, but it was either the Tamdu batch strength.
I think it was the Tamdu. because it was all about the slurping and the
ASMR. Yeah. we made some adjustments. We had noticed the same thing going on.
And it was bizarre because we're using our boom mic that we've had forever.
Yeah, and we had made some quality setting changes though with the video on the camera.
Right.
And so we're wondering if that bumped up the audio settings as well. Hopefully we've toned them down. We made some adjustments. We'll see.
Right. And I'm trying not to slurp, but yeah, that was literally, we were noticing it. Like I'd take a bite of a cracker and
yeah, the cracker.
It was like, wow. And I was like, that must have been a crisp cracker.
It's your mouth and your angry chipmunk stuff. You're like smacking, and
it's
the tongue, you can pick up the tongue rolling even in your mouth.
Wow, I've heard that before. When we did the Tamdu though, it was a juicy dram, and that one got the salivation was going even. Nice.
Santa Cruzin already has to tune out. Yep, gotta go.
I could see other people freaking out. Sure, yeah, they hear all the little juicy noises.
Box of Quality points out it was in your mouth.
Bro, that mic was inside your mouth. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We had
Lunatic moment. Yeah, Horst.
I had noticed it, but it's kind of like we hadn't changed anything with the audio settings. What is going on? Mm-hmm. And then once one or two people commented, it was like, okay, let's see if we can make some adjustments and get that toned down.
Right. The new camera is pretty fancy, and you wouldn't think the new camera would somehow upgrade the sound from an older boom mic, but it did.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Actually, we got to filming early. Whiskey Scout was going to drop by as well at some point today. He's probably going to be here when we're done, because when we're done with the live stream, we're done filming for the day.
Yeah, that's how we close it out, baby.
Whiskey Scout missed out. Yeah. And he was bringing the Glenmorangie, one of the annual releases that they do. It's an older one, the Atlanta.
He's got the original Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you found like the more standard Atlanta, but it's not their...
No, not Atlanta. Not the Glenmorangie.
Okay, sorry.
Morangie.
Gotcha.
Morangie.
Morangie. Yes.
Glenmorangie.
What is your favorite single barrel bourbon?
Well, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof isn't a single barrel. If you want to barrel strength, by far, I would take George T. Stagg, the BTAC edition, but it's so limited and so rare. You're lucky to get it for something you can find.
Elijah Craig, I love it.
It comes out 3 times a year. Sometimes it sits on the shelves a little bit. Sometimes you got to be there the day of. But the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is by far the best.
We talked about an interesting aspect that our show brings is that it's constant and it's new. Whiskey Advocate, which we currently subscribe to, had their blind tasting panel all pick the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And all of a sudden it was getting a lot of popularity. And we're like, man, we've been calling it the Bottle of Wow for 15 months at least. And which is fine. I mean, they've got a bigger probably reach currently than we do, but the way we're growing, I don't think that's going to last for long.
But if you don't, not just barrel proof, but single barrel, a darn good one, the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof.
That is true, which we call the double barrel.
That's and it's delicious. Like $60.
Yeah, I get a banana cream on it. Mm-hmm. It's delicious. Delicious. Don't overlook it because it says Jack Daniel's.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Now it looks just like the Select, the Jack Daniel's Select.
Mm-hmm. I got it. Want me to grab it?
Grab the box. Grab one of the box because it's deceiving. Unless you look close, you'll see where it says single barrel proof. Oh, it's single barrel is the other one. It looks just like the Jack Daniel's single barrel.
Yeah.
But it's the single barrel proof, and it's 64% ABV. They are delicious.
I haven't opened. I went and bought a second one.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them as well.
And I will break this out even with the uninitiated. I've got neighbors that'll come over to the fire pit, and I'll let them have a sip. And I don't tell them anything beforehand, and they're amazed. I see their eyes, and I've had a couple of them go, banana? I'm getting banana cream, and I'm like, you are good. And then they feel good about themselves. Yeah, my wife, I actually walked her through a tasting with this, and I gave her a little sip neat, And then we slowly stepped it with water and then even added some ice and kind of took the ABV way down. And she was like, wow, I'm starting to get what you do. So that was neat too.
Mm-hmm. Well, two things real quick. Daniel Brown, he also points out, though, his wife just now said, don't they have anything better to do?
Oh,
no.
Whiskey.
We don't. Well, no, you're supposed to do some yard work.
Yeah, but this is better than that.
Actually, I'm going to start opening my pool today. I got to go clean the cover off and get it ready.
But isn't this better than that?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't have anything.
So yeah, that's true. That's nothing better.
No, there's other stuff needs doing.
But, yeah, if someone said, "Do you want to get up at 9 in the morning and start drinking?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Are we on vacation? Are we in Cozumel? It's like we're in Cozumel without all the gang drug violence.
That's right. We're safe.
Yeah, we're safe here. We're at our own house. We're bringing a party to you. But yeah, later on, I'll be on a mower riding around and on my own yard.
Ooh, Whiskey Frontier says he gets the Jack Daniel's double barrel for $45.
Wow.
That is killer. That's got to be, they've got to be mismarking that.
That's
because I think here the single barrel is $45 to $50, and the barrel proof is usually $60 to $65.
She just laughed. Good. His wife's laughing because we've got nothing better to do.
Christopher Malloy, are you guys considering what's said on Patreon about grouping shootouts according to ABV? Now, we noticed in the the rye shootout that we favored the high ABV ones.
And I've got a caveat. We had another fan, or maybe it was your idea, I can't remember, suggested that we just do some like one-offs, 4 bottles. It's not part of a 16-bottle spread. We just do 4. We sit down and do those blind. And I said, yes. You were like, yeah, great idea. And with that, that's manageable because now we're going to know the 4 bottles in front of us because that's all there is. And I think that we could group together and really pay attention to the ABV and get something that's a little bit more bracketed to each other.
When we did the bourbon shootout, we kept them 50% and under.
Yes.
Because of the rye shootout.
Right.
We could do, and we've had a lot, we've got enough barrel proofs and single barrels. We could do another bourbon shootout, which is good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But I'll tell you, when we did the peat shootout, when I came to one that was a higher ABV, I would add some water to it to try to bring it down comparable. And there was 1 or 2 that I took the lower ABV one and I advanced it past the higher one once I brought it down a little bit.
Yeah, so it wasn't just the power of it for you. You actually got more flavor out of it once you diluted a little bit.
You're right.
So it's not just a caveat that high ABV is going to win. So knowing that, I think that still brings value to those shootouts. But yes, listening to the Patreon comments or comment, we are definitely going to be doing these one-offs, these, 4 come in, 1 comes out kind of deal. Ooh, there we go. 4 come in, 1 comes out. What's that from? That's a movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some movie about like a gladiatorial kind of
like Saw.
God, I haven't seen Saw.
Oh.
Saw's too scary. I don't want things getting cut up. Yeah. 4 come in, 1 comes out.
So yeah, I mean, I think with the peat one with the high ABVs, and if we did we're going to do a sherry one. There's going to be some high ABVs on there, but I think we're good enough. We can bring it down and see where it's at once it gets to a comparable range. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the same, but if one's at 46% and you bring one from 60 to 50,
sure.
And then you can tell, I think you're getting a good representation.
Right. Duncan Harmsworth has a good comment. He says, since it looks like Ardbeg rules the Scotch God galaxy, they are in my world. That was a learning experience. He would love to see a final showdown of Ardbeg. We've done a 3-bottle Ardbeg family shootout with the Ardbeg 10, the Corey Vrecken, and the Oogedal. I could see us returning to, we call those family shootouts, where it's just those from the same distillery, and doing that again now that we have the Dark Cove committee release. Hopefully we still have the Grooves committee release.
How many bottles of committee release do you have?
I've got only 2 of the Dark Cove, half gone on the first
on one.
bottle.
She's got 1 sealed.
Yeah. The Kelpie. I'm armed and dangerous. And I think that's all we have is the Kelpie. We've got some samples. The Supernova would have been nice.
Aqua Vitae is here tuning in from Taekwondo.
Woo! Go Taekwondo.
You like holding the phone while you're chopping?
Yeah, he's kicking. It's a kick.
Hold on.
You can hold your Glencairn and get that leg kick up there.
Flips the phone.
Yeah, I worked with a gal that was like a double black belt in Taekwondo. I'm like, right now, if you got mad, could you kick me in the head? And she's like, easily. I'm like, dang.
Jason Fisk points out the Knob Creek single barrel. Yes, those are very good. We've had some of those. Good for the single barrels.
Those are good.
Jason C is tuning in. Hey, dummies. Thanks, Jason, for joining us. Oh, well, Jason Fisk and Jason C.
Chef PC says an Ardbeg showdown could be expensive. It's already been expensive.
We've got most of them. We'd have to buy the Kelpie,
right.
which we haven't bought. We had samples of the Kelpie.
Yeah. We should get the
It's
Kelpie.
good, but it's so different. Or not, is it different? It's so, it's like seaweed and peat and salt.
It would have to be in there, though. Chef PC also says he's not a fan of the banana flavor, like when I mentioned on the what we call the Jack Daniel's double barrel. Some people don't like it. This one really comes in as a sweet banana. Don't rule it out. I'm with you. The regular en route had a banana that actually seemed like an overripe kind of banana flavor, which I'm not quite as much a fan of. This is definitely, the single barrel is definitely more of a banana cream pie kind of sweetness. I think it's that Lincoln County method that's coming in there.
Yeah.
So,
well, and Daniel Brown is pointing out that the Kelpie isn't in the Pete Strikes Back. No, we could have got it. We considered it.
It was slated to be in, and then we were able to get the grooves.
We got the grooves, really, which trumped it because we had the Kelpie, and it's kind of like, okay. Right. But we also had, so in the first shootout, we had Oogie Dale.
Right.
The 10.
Right.
And the Dark Cove committee release.
And they all three made it.
This one, we have the Corey Vrecken, the Grooves, and Noah.
Noah. Yeah,
we already had 3 more Ardbegs. It lost out, unfortunately. The Kelpie did.
All right, the Kelpie didn't get in. Although I called it in.
You thought it was.
He was like, "You idiot, dummy."
Like, this one's dumb. This one got a lot of seaweed, and fish,
which reminded me of the Kelpie, which wasn't even in the mix.
We don't have the Kelpie.
Yeah. And I was like, you're right. We excluded that right near the end because the grooves came in. Yeah, which is the charm of the show. Let's be honest. That was charming. Pete Shootout has convinced me to join Pete's side. Way to go, Chandler Tyndall. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you bet.
And I haven't seen Chandler tune in before, so good.
When we both
thank you for joining us.
We were not Pete heads. No. You're probably still not a Pete head. I'm a dyed in the wool Pete head, but I love everything else too. I really do.
Yes.
I wouldn't limit it to just Pete. Matter of fact, when we did the Tam Do, I was like, wow.
Yeah. So go back to the beginning. The first tasting we had, neither one of us liked the Pete. There was a Lagavulin 16 there. We were
like, whoa, and I thought, ashtray. It's not even ashtray to me anymore.
And then we had been.
This is delicious.
It is not that bad.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I can't believe it's not.
Thanks to B-Lamb. So again, those that are tuning in late, we are looking at Berkshire bourbon whiskey. It's from Massachusetts. It was sent to us by B-Lamb. B-Lamb tunes in a lot. He's a big supporter, commenter.
Local. This is near him.
To him, right. But anyway, so we had been into film and we had been drinking scotch and whiskey and hanging out for a few years before we before we decided to do reviews.
Right.
We had not been doing reviews that long when we did the Compass Box Peat Monster.
Yes.
And that converted you. You began liking Pete then. I still did not like it.
Yeah.
We were doing Lefroigs and Ardbegs, and I was like, my God, what is this?
Yeah, I'd be like, we need to do an Ardbeg family shootout.
I'm like, this is terrible.
Dang. Yeah, I'd have to like pay him $20 bills to get him to do it.
Well, yeah. I was gonna give Wally anybody that watches Scotch and Sniff. Sniff is Wally. He's doing a podcast with Drinking Caveman. They've got their own show, Whiskey Untitled. Mm-hmm. Wally has a very descriptive adjective he uses for Pete, which I was going to use, but I won't.
Gotcha. That's his
shtick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You were not a fan. Matter of fact, some of the Pete heads loved watching you go like, ugh. And then you switched. And I'm trying to remember the bottle that did it, and I can't recall it off.
Well, it was. I can tell you, I'd kind of warmed up. What's amazing though, I'd had a few. I didn't care for Pete, but I'd be like, okay, I don't care for Pete, but I can tell this is a good whiskey.
Right. There
was a Brook Lottie. You had picked up. It was like a 2009 release. It was the 3P3, 3D3.
Yeah, the 3D3 did it for you.
That was when I was sitting at home. Well, and the thing is, though,
that's when I passed on a Lynx.
I'm still not. I'll still pick a lot of other whiskeys or even a sherried whiskey most of the time. Occasionally, I'm going to a Pete.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I like them and they're good. And when I have a good one, I think I know it. But I still lean towards sherried scotches.
You do. And I actually think your palate is much stronger when it comes to those subtleties in a sherried scotch.
Nick Place tuning in, Dark Cove or Grooves. First of all, we can't give any spoiler.
Yeah, but I would take Dark Cove just off the top of my head.
You can't give any spoilers.
I'm not saying anything about the Grooves, though.
We haven't even finished.
We haven't done them head to head.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But the Grooves has showed up in a category. I'm not saying anything about the finish.
But no, I can't say anything else.
You can't
I was going
to.
I know
it's coming.
Yeah.
But the Dark Cove's been out.
That would give some spoilers because Grooves is in the shootout we're doing now. Bracket 4 and the championship
All I'm
is
saying
coming
is
up.
I would love to see them head to head. I haven't tried them head to head yet. So you never know. But
I think I know which one would win in my.
Maybe in you. The Grooves, when I first tried it, was a little underwhelming. And I've got to be careful because my expectations are almost starting to exceed. I mean, it's almost like I expect greatness, and that sets Ardbeg up for failure, in my opinion. And I'm with Aqua Vitae. I saw it was coming. I did not think Ardbeg was going to be in my tops on the very first bracket that we did. And it was Kilhoman and 3 Ardbegs. And those were the only 3 in it, including the Ardbeg 10. And I was like, wow. And I've gone back to the Ardbeg 10 since. Holy moly. I don't need to spend $180 on a peated whiskey. The Ardbeg 10 is phenomenal.
Right. Yeah. And that question came up yesterday. Which readily available Ardbeg would you
10.
buy? Ardbeg 10.
I still like
for
the
$50.
10 and the Lefroy cast strength. The difference is blind. The Ardbeg 10 won out over the Lefroy's. I still have a case of Lefroy cast strength, quarter cask.
I might have to buy 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, it's $60.
I don't have a cast strength. I've got
they were expensive.
I've got a 10 and a 3 wood triple wood at home.
Yeah.
Well, no, my triple wood's here for the shootout.
The good thing is around Christmas, you can get the Lefroy 10s and the Ardbeg 10s for a steal.
Yeah.
This cool.
Well,
can,
I don't know about Ardbeg.
No, look at that can back there. Well, Ardbeg doesn't discount the price, but they do cool stuff with like glasses.
Yeah.
Or that's a Rick House, and I just wanted to have that on the set. So that was cool. You can't really keep your can in it though because it sits sideways, or your can. You can't keep your bottle in it.
But you just got to stand it up.
Kind of, but then
mine's standing up.
I know, but it doesn't look as cool.
Oh,
it looks like a
lean over where they can see it.
Yeah. Right there. See? Look at that.
Boom.
Bam.
Gene Parker is tuning in. Thanks, Gene. And Chandler Tyndall again Chandler is asking, have you guys tried the Tomatin 18-year finished in Oloroso sherry casks? Yes, we have. Mm-hmm. And it's probably one of the best buy 18-year-olds you can find.
We were buying it for $60. Has it gone up since?
No, it's still 60, and I've seen it on sale for $50 a couple of times.
Unbelievable.
But I've got a couple bottles at home, and I haven't bought any more.
Well, the Tomatin 14-year port finish was the first port finish I had, and I was like, oh, my God. And it's a great price. And the Tomatin 12 gives you that. If you ever want to know what a cereal malty taste is, that's what the 12 has, and it's unbelievably priced as well. We love the Tomatin. So.
Yeah, Jason Fisk, he's been working through a Tomatin 14 Portwood. We did what we called our Port Menage a Trois.
Oh, yeah, that was a good name.
We had Balvenie 21-year Portwood.
Yes.
We had the Tomatin 14.
Yep.
And the Aaron port finish.
And guess what didn't do as well as we thought? Well, for me.
Well,
just for me.
Even if you go back though, head and what stayed together, the Tomatin 14 stayed right with the Balvenie 21-year Portwood, a $200+ bottle with a $45 bottle.
Exactly. And that was my first education that money doesn't mean best.
Yeah.
It's still quality dram. It's a very good dram.
I think I went back and forth. I think I chose the Balvenie, but not by much.
Did we do that blind?
Yeah, it was blind.
Okay.
And then you had the Tomatin again, but just barely edging out the Balvenie.
Right. And then the Aaron finished a little further
down. It came off a little bit sour.
Okay.
In there with the others.
Beautiful though. Yeah, the Tomatin's got some stuff going on. Even their Kuboken, which when I first tried it, I thought it was going to be this peat explosion. It's not really that. It's a whole break from their line though too. We got educated by their ambassadors when we had them online.
Well, I just look. Nick Place just commented, and he said Tomatin is rocking it at the moment, and the Dummies had the guy on from Tomatin live, and he was very good. That was early on in our lives, and we should probably reach out and say that was Scott. Well, we had Scott and Scott.
Both Scott and Big Scott.
Big Scott.
Yeah.
From the distillery.
They had this book there that lists like all of their recipes back to like the 18 somethings. That was cool. Because Scott has a great question. If the distillery or the rickhouse or whatever was on fire, what bottle would you grab?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a 30-year-old bottle that Big Scott.
Oh, no, there was older.
Okay,
there was older stuff.
And then Scott said, I wouldn't grab a bottle. I would grab this book.
Yeah.
And then he talked about the book. That was a neat show.
It was basically the log of every batch they had ever made.
Right. The history of the distillery, which was, I agree, that was neat. We've got to have them back on. What do you got? You were laughing.
Claire the Third Teabaggers. Yeah, that came up. Remember that?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have us on anymore.
Yeah, that's
true.
You,
the ambassadors cannot go on the Dummies anymore. They brought up teabagging. Look at Claire bringing in. He's been around for a while. Haven't seen that one. Go check that. That's a great live show. They literally remote in on a Sunday from the distillery and from their tasting boardroom office kind of thing or whatever. Yeah. And in the background is some of their most rare whiskeys and that tome, which was neat. Very, very neat. The other thing to tell you too, if you ever go to Tomatin, they have some bottles that you can only buy if you visit the distillery. Mm-hmm. And my hope is, of course, we would like to visit, but I would love, I'm going to reach out to them and see, we got the 12 Hours of Boom coming up. I would love for one or both of those gentlemen, the Scotts, to join us live. And I don't know, maybe they can make.
We have a special Tomatin for the 12 Hours of Boom. I'll come up during that show.
I didn't want to say anything.
So
sometimes you hit me.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden I'm getting throat punched.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't know what you're going to say. All right. We got a special bottle that will be coming. Can I say more?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted you to panic a little bit. You'd be like, no, shut up. Shut your pie hole. Shut your whiskey hole. Is that dirty?
It'd be like, okay, let's just say we got a new car for the show.
Right.
Bart would be like, we got a 56 Chevy and it's got 47-inch tires on it. We've got a 440 big block cop engine in it.
We got a Tesla.
I told them we don't want to tell them all that.
Series S. Is that what the new Tesla is?
Huh?
What's the new Tesla?
Well, the Model S is the big 4-door.
Oh.
So sedan. The Model 3 is the little one.
There you go.
Economy one, supposedly.
I want to be driven places
if they start getting them produced someday.
I want to be driven places by a robot. That intrigues me. Show the Android head.
Daniel Brown wants to know what kind of coffee I'm drinking. This is actually a caramel truffle.
He's a master of coffee. He actually got me into coffee. One of the neatest moments was I bought some whole beans, or you gave me some whole beans. Yeah. So I bought a grinder.
Well, that was Jamaican me crazy.
Yeah, it was Jamaican me crazy. And I wasn't sure how to run the grinder, set the grinder, what kind of grind setting, how many cups. It seemed confusing to me. And I called him. I'm like, come on, man, help me make this. He's like, it's a coffee maker.
You texted me a picture of you had the grinder sitting out.
I was
had the
perplexed.
beans.
Yes. And the coffee maker.
And the coffee maker. And you're like,
right.
How do I
do this?
What do I do?
Right. And what do I set this
I just said, figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Zero help at all. Figure it out, dummy. That's before we had the show. He was calling me a dummy. That's why it was a name that was meant. Yeah. I was like, well, I don't want to. This seems like such a great cup. You were
like 45 years old at the time. I'm like, make a pot of coffee.
Sure. But I didn't want to get it wrong. You had picked me up once. We were going to a training and you picked me up and I was like, dang, whatever you're drinking smells good. And you're like, guess what? Boom. You pull out and you're like, that's for you.
Yeah.
You hand me my own. I was like, this is unbelievable. And then I got it. So I wanted to make an unbelievable cup of coffee. But I was like, what if I grind it wrong or something? And you were like, figure it out, dummy. Turned out it was pretty simple. So it was good. Yeah. Scott's the kind of dad that takes off the training wheels or throws you in the deep end. Learn to swim, boy.
That's right.
Learn to swim.
If you need something, holler.
I'll dive in if you're drowning.
Now, I will tell you with the coffee mugs that it's supposed to be over here on one of the sides. They put it on the end, which is okay. It's working.
I don't know.
But
yeah, if we're drinking from it, you're like, oh, they got a red cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, wait, I saw a peak of something. I
emailed them and said, that's not where it's supposed to be.
Why is it like this? Why is it face on? The good thing is when you set it down, it's kind of in camera.
Claire saw it.
Claire saw it. Way to go, Claire. Claire's knowledgeable.
All right. I think we've been going long enough.
We have been. That's a long show. Do you want to wrap up? We got Jason Fisk.
Grab the bourbon. Again, Berkshire. And we also had the Kelsey Adelaide 2-inch. It's an ice cube freezer. It makes a 2-inch square cubes.
Those things
I liked it. It's pretty nice. I had one in here. That's why I was drinking from a rocks glass.
Well, you can see that giant cube there.
Yep.
And I don't know why they got cranberries down in their whiskey.
That is coming up. We just filmed High West Yippee-Ki-Yay, and we showed those, and we'll be doing a giveaway for some of those.
There is going to be a giveaway. Tune in for future shows. Anyone here? There's a thing about Compass Box.
Wrap it up.
Scotch It. You Scotch.
Thanks to everybody that tuned in. We appreciate it on this Monday morning. Berkshire bourbon whiskey from Massachusetts. Very tasty.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
This.
Oh.
Hold on.
No, you need your glass.
Oh, hold on. My glass sticks up. Look at that. Oh, coffee coming in. Hello. Ting. Ting. It's just like the show.
Later, dummies.
See you, dummies. Woo, Scotch It. Scotchery.